Let me ask you a simple question. Why does everything cost more every single year? Milk, rent, phones, movies, fuel. Nothing ever goes back to the old price. And no matter who is in power, no matter what promises are made, prices just keep climbing. We're told inflation is temporary, then it's under control, then suddenly it's normal. But what if inflation isn't a problem the system is trying to fix? What if inflation is working exactly as designed? Stay with me, because once you see this, you'll never look at money the same way again. Let's start with something familiar. Imagine you saved $100 under your mattress 10 years ago. You didn't touch it, you didn't spend it, you were responsible. Today, that same $100 buys you less food, less fuel, less everything. Your money didn't move, but its value quietly shrank. That is inflation. And it raises a bigger question. Why would a system allow money to lose value over time? Here's where things get interesting. Most people think inflation is a mistake. They believe it happens because governments mess up, or because of crises, or because something went wrong. But in modern economics, inflation is not treated like a disease. It's treated like a tool to keep the system running. Let's simplify it. The entire global economy runs on growth. Businesses must grow, countries must grow, markets must grow. And growth needs spending. If people stop spending, everything slows down. Companies earn less, jobs disappear, debts can't be paid, and the system panics. So here's the trick. If inflation slowly loses value every year, people are encouraged to spend it instead of saving it forever. Because holding cash feels like ice melting in your hand. You think, I should invest this, or buy something, or at least do something with it. That behavior keeps money moving, and a moving economy looks healthy on paper. Now let's talk about debt, because this is where inflation becomes very convenient. Governments run on debt, big corporations run on debt, even households run on debt. Loans, bonds, mortgages, credit cards, debt is everywhere. Here's the secret. Inflation makes debt easier to repay. If you borrowed money years ago and inflation keeps rising, you're paying back that debt with cheaper money. In simple terms, you borrow in strong money, you repay in weaker money. That's great for borrowers. And guess who the biggest borrowers are? Exactly. Meanwhile, if you're a saver, inflation quietly punishes you. Your reward for being careful is watching your purchasing power fade. It's not loud, it's not dramatic, it doesn't feel like theft, but year after year it adds up. That's why people who understand the system don't sit on cash. They put money into assets, businesses, stocks, real estate, things that rise with inflation. The system rewards participation, not patience. Now here's a funny part. People often say, why don't they just stop inflation? Because stopping inflation completely would break the system. No inflation sounds nice until you think about it. If prices never rise, people delay spending. If this phone costs the same next year, I'll wait. Multiply that mindset across millions of people, and suddenly businesses slow down. Slower spending leads to layoffs. Layoffs lead to fear. Fear leads to more saving. That's how economies freeze. A little inflation keeps people slightly uncomfortable, just enough to keep things moving. Think of inflation like a treadmill. You don't have to run fast, but you can't stop walking either. If you stop, you fall behind. The system doesn't want you resting. It wants you moving, producing, consuming, participating. Now let's talk about wages. People often ask, why do salaries rise but still feel behind? Because wages usually chase inflation, not beat it. Your salary may go up 5%, but if prices go up 7%, you didn't get richer. You just ran harder to stay in the same place. This is why many people feel like they're working more but progressing less. They're not lazy. They're not bad with money. They're running on the same treadmill. Here's the part nobody explains clearly. Inflation doesn't hit everyone equally. People who own assets often benefit. People who rely only on wages struggle. So inflation quietly widens the gap between those who understand the system and those who don't. Not because one group is smarter, but because the rules were written this way. Now let's clear something up. This isn't about villains in dark rooms pushing buttons. It's about incentives. The system rewards growth, debt, and movement. Inflation supports all three. That's why it survives every crisis. That's why it's always explained, but never eliminated. So what does this mean for you? It means inflation isn't something to wait out. It's something to understand. Once you understand it, you stop asking, when will prices go back to normal? And you start asking, how do I stop playing defense? You realize money is not meant to be stored forever. It's meant to be used wisely. And here's the ironic part. The moment you stop being confused by inflation, it loses some of its power over you. Because confusion is expensive. Understanding is leverage. So the next time someone says inflation is a problem they're trying to fix, you'll know the truth. Inflation isn't a bug, it's a feature. If this video made you see money differently, hit the like button. It helps the channel more than you think. And if you enjoy simple, no-nonsense explanations about money, power, and how the system really works, subscribe and stay with us. More eye-opening stories are coming.